iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to race number 1 of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series. Tonight, we'll see drivers do battle on the dirt. We get ready for a 50-lap main event, 8-lap heat races, 2-lap qualifying, and a 12-lap last chance qualifier. As drivers get ready to go out for their 2-lap qualifying, we got some cars out on track right now. We're looking at the 38 machine of Dave Payton. This series took a little bit of a hiatus here coming into this week, but now it's back for a few rounds here. Tonight, we're at race number 1 at the Volusia Speedway down here in Florida, so we'll see how these drivers can do as Dave Payton on lap number 1. He will complete his first time lap. He will go. And we'll go see if we can get our time and scoring updated. But Dave Payton off of turn number 4. He will complete his qualifying here. He'll go P number 4 with a 15.75 right now. The 13 machine of Trevor Mattingly at the top of the timing and scoring. One driver we'll take a look at here is Eric Lake. Eric is a dirt driver himself in the street stock class up here in the Michigan area. So we'll see what Eric Lake can do on his first time lap here, folks, as he slings that thing into turn number 1 and down the backstretch he goes. Eric Lake down the backstretch into turn 3, off of turn number 4. He'll hit the start finish line. Eric Lake will go P number 10 on lap number 1. We'll see if he can improve that lap time for lap number 2. As we see the X5 machine through 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to get on the binders and say, all right, that's going to be it. So Eric Lake will bring that thing to pits and continue to try and figure out some speed around this place. As we look at the 88 machine of Chuck Darling out there on track. He is currently P18. We'll see if he can improve that lap time here on lap number 2. And it looks like he will not, as I believe most people are. As we look now at the 59 machine of Nathan Henry, I believe he's at the bottom of the timing scoring. Ricky Leduc up into P number 4. He's out there on track. Michael Carter, quick time, ties Trevor Madden, at the top of the timing scoring. So some close times throughout the timing scoring here tonight, folks, as we get everything sorted on out and get ready to go to some heat races. The top 4 move on to the main event, where some drivers will get left behind and have to duke it out for the last chance race. So a lot on the line for these heat races, as most everyone has put in a lap time. 21 cars here at the Speedway tonight. 21 cars have taken a lap, so these drivers getting down and dirty, getting ready to go racing here in a minute. So with some time, we've got a lot planned, a lot of good stuff for this season coming up ahead of us, folks. We'll be here 9 o'clock on Sunday nights for this series. Some race information for the Volusia Speedway here tonight. We got a 4/10 of a mile dirt track here, D-shaped. So we'll see drivers really walk it out on the backstretch and make sure they keep it off that wall on that tight front stretch. Of course, we got to thank all the following sponsors here for some series sponsors tonight. That being, of course, the RCProShop.com. Also, we got to shout out AJ's Auto Detailing, Hubco Metal Fab, QuickTime Motorsports Media, Pay to Win Setups, and Race1.us. As we're looking at a nice night here for racing down in the Floridas. No signs of rain, which is always a good thing in the Florida area, as we get ready to start heat race number 1 of the night. We'll get them rocking and rolling here on the front stretch. Wait for these drivers to jump on out there, but it looks like we got drivers out here as we'll run through tonight's starting order as we get cars out on track. So, starting on pole with the Quick Time Award tonight, Michael Carter in the 15 Pro Late Model. Starting on outside pole is the 196 machine of Ricky Leduc. Row number 2 will be made up of Bobby Mattingly in the 3 with Andrew Payne in the 93. Row number 3 will be Ron Hart in the 51 with Tim Rogers in the 48. And rounding out heat race number 1 tonight is Tanner Tallarico in the 1 car. As we get ready to rock and roll, Michael Carter out there in front, quickest time of the night tonight. We'll see if he can put together a solid heat race. Make sure he locks himself into the main event. As just a reminder, folks, the top 4 make it into the main event from these heat races. So everyone's going to be battling for the top 3 transfer positions. As this is the wave lap, folks, give your favorite drivers away from heat race number 1, because next time by, they'll be going green flag racing here, as Michael Carter will lead us to green. Ricky Leduc in second. Bobby Manley third. Andrew Payne is the top 4 starting spots. As we'll wait for this field to head down the backstretch and that iRacing pace truck to head into pit road. And the iRacing pace truck in pit road. Now we wait for the 15 machine. He jumps on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing here for heat race number 1 here at Volusia. Coming down the backstretch. Ron Hart, Andrew Payne, door to door. Same with Ricky Leduc and Bobby Henry. We go 2 by 2 right here. That's a battle for the transfer spot. The 51 of Ron Hart, the 93 machine of Andrew Payne. switch spots now. 51 machine up top, 93 down low. As these guys are only racing for 8 laps, so they have to make sure they make their moves quickly and effectively. Ron Hart now able to hold off Andrew Payne as he goes to the top side. In front of him, Ricky LeDuc and Bobby Natalie still side by side for second and third. Again, Andrew Payne looking to the inside of Ron Hart. Ron Hart still under fire and has 2 cars side by side in front of him. Nowhere for him to go as they continue to keep on battling out there in front of both cars. This time they wanted to go to that bottom side. Michael Carter continues to lead the way in this field. He has checked out to a solid lead with 3 laps to go. Behind them, it's still a battle. Natalie almost to the side of the Duke, but they keep it all straight. Battle here. Natalie still sliding on that bottom side. Ron Hart now right to the back bumper of both of those cars. That time by with some popsicle sticks up in the air for heat race number 1. Ron Hart continues to hold off Andrew Payne now. Less than a car length between them. Natalie a little slow through the apex, but this time by white flag, a little bit of contact between LeDuc and Natalie. Everyone hangs onto it, but now more contact. Ron Hart to the back. Ron Hart around for the transfer spot. Up and over he goes, but now the transfer spot battles on between Tanner Tallarico and Tim Rogers. As Tanner Tallarico is going to sneak his way into it. Tim Rogers on the outside looking in. Andrew Payne 6th. Ron Hart 7th with up on the wall, but the man of heat race number 1 is Michael Carter in the 15 machine picking up that win. So nice job, Mike, as we get ready for heat race number 2 here. As we get ready to run through heat race number 2, starting order. Trevor Mattingly in the 13 machine will start on pole. Jacob Lassiter in the 151 machine, the last series champion of the Pro Late Models way back a few months ago. He will start in second. Row number 2 will be made up of Dave Payne in the 38 with Blake Steele in the 12. Row number 3 is Dan Lloyd in the 009 machine, and Michael Guerin in the 78 will start to his outside. And starting shotgun on heat race number 2 is the 163 machine of Bailey Boyd. As these guys will get ready to do battle for 8 laps. We saw an eventful heat race number 1. We'll get ready to see what kind of drama can unfold in heat race number 2. As we've had last lap contact to decide the transfer spot. Top 4 get locked into the main show. The rest of these drivers have to race their way in through the last chance qualifier. As this is the wave lap, folks, give your drivers a wave for heat race number 2. These guys ready to go and turn 8 laps here for heat race number 2. Mattingly leads the way. Lassiter to his outside. Payton in 3rd. Steele in 4th. That's the top 4 starting spots. Those are the spots that the last 3 want to try and get into because that locks themselves in. So now we'll wait for Mattingly to lead us to green. The iRacing pace truck is down and away down pit road. Now we'll wait for the 13 machine to jump on this loud pedal. As he does so early, Mattingly gets away with a great start. We go green flag racing here for race number 2. As Jacob Lassiter gets clear of Dave Payne. Dave Payne there in that 38 machine. Brings out, able to slide in front of Blake Steele. Now Steele looks to the inside of Payne. Down the front stretch into turn number 1. Payne way up the racetrack into the marbles. Now give the advantage to Steele down the backstretch with that short lane. This is going to open up the door for Dan Lloyd in that 009 machine as well. Now front Mattingly leads the way over Lassiter. Now Lloyd looking to the inside of Dave Payne. Dave Payne now losing 1, maybe now 2 spots here in this heat race as he tries to find some grip in that top lane. That time to get for that 38 ASRC machine. top two have started to check on out with Mattingly and Lasker. All over the back bumper of Blake Steele. Dan Lloyd knows he needs to get around that 38 to lock himself into this main from these heat races. Single filing on out here as you see that track continue to slick on up a little more. Dan Lloyd running right in that very slick stuff there in 1-2, so have to see how that works on out. That time a little bit higher than that time by with two obstacle sticks up in the air for heat race number 2. This is flying on by, folks, but everyone seems pretty content where they're running. But up front, Trevor Mattingly continues to lead the point here for the white flag. One more lap to go for the 13 machine of Mattingly. Trevor Mattingly down the backstretch for the final time. He was pretty sporty. He was very sporty in the preseason events for this series. Now off of turn number 4, he will pick up heat race number 2. Lasker will finish second. Blake Steele in third. Dave Payton rounds out the top 4 to transfer on in as we get ready for heat race number 3. As we got cars out there on the grid. So we'll run through the starting order for heat race number 3. Tanner Hutchins in the 04 machine will lead us to green. Starting to his outside is the 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe. Starting in third will be Garrett Marshall in the 789 machine. Starting fourth is Eric Lake in the 05 or the X5. Starting fifth is Aaron Kirby in the 91. Sixth will be Chuck Darling in the 88 machine. And starting shotgun on heat number 3 will be Nathan Henry in the 59 machine. As these guys ready to go racing here for their heat. Just like all the other ones, folks, we'll mention it again. Top 4 locks themselves in. Tanner Hutchins in the 04 machine will lead us to green. Brandon Marlowe to his outside, but it's the wave lap for heat number 3, folks. Give your favorite drivers a wave because next time by, we'll be going green flag racing here from Volusia for heat number 3. As so far, if you started out in front, folks, you have picked up your heat win. We'll see if Tanner Hutchinson can continue that streak in that white and pink 04 machine. As Brandon Marlowe will try and say something about that as this track has continued to wear, folks. You see how that slick stuff getting more and more into the corner and getting wider and wider as the 04 machine jumps on the loud pedal, gets away with a great start over this field. Brandon Marlowe now under fire from the 789 machine into turn number 1 as he heads down the backstretch. Marlowe sweeping on that start. That allows Hutchinson to get about a half a second lead over this field. So now the battle for the championship spot is on between Garrett Marshall, Eric Lake, and Aaron Kirby. Of Eric Lake on the top side. Garrett Marshall trying to keep that car down low, that momentum, but very hard to do with that right rear in that slick. Now Aaron Kirby to the outside. This is the battle for the transfer spot in heat race number 3. Kirby in the more preferred groove. Trying to find some traction. He finally able to jump to that top side, but now outside of the transfer spot. He's got to find his way back around that 91 if he wants to lock himself into this main event. This heat race are flying on by. Yeah, 4 laps to go. It's already halfway down in this heat race. Out front, though, Tanner Hutchins continues to lead the way over Brandon Marlowe, who has really been pushed a little bit. It probably won't be enough with 3 laps to go. Eric Lake, though, on a mission. He has caught the back bumper of that 37 and now within 2 car lengths of him. So Eric Lake figuring out this racetrack here from that qualifying attempt. That time by this field saw obstacle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go. Aaron Kirby see if the 91 machine can do it, but that time by Eric Blake looks to the inside. Not too much traction in that slick stuff. He'll lose a little bit of time, but he's taking some notes for later in this race. But off of turn number 4, Tanner Hutchins gets the job done in the 04 machine. He picks up heat. Number 3 win as Aaron Kirby able to lock himself into the main event. As we get ready for the main event, folks, everyone making the field with the car count tonight. So we'll get ready to run over this starting order for this great field for race number 1 of the American Sim Racing Pro Late Model Series. Michael Carter in the 15 machine will start on the pole. Trevor Mattingly in the 13 will start second. Third goes to Tanner Hutchinson in the 04. Ricky LeDuc in the 196 will start fourth. Rounding out the top 5 is Jacob Lassiter in the 151. Sixth goes to Brandon Marlowe in the 37. Seventh, Bobby Mattingly in the 3. Blake Steele in the 12 will start 8th. 9th is Eric Lake in the 05. Rounding out the top 10 is Tanner Tallarico. 11th is Dave Payne in the 38. 12th is Aaron Kirby in the 91. 13th is Tim Rogers in the 48. 14th is Dan Lloyd in the 009 machine. 15th, Michael Garrett Marshall in the 789. 16th, Andrew Payne in the 93. 17th is Michael Guerin in the 78. 18th, Nathan Henry in the 59. 19th, Ron Hart in the 51. 20th goes to Bailey Boyd in the 163. And starting shotgun on the field tonight will be the 88 machine of Chuck Darling. As we take a look at this field, folks, a lot of super late models out here tonight to get ready to go do battle at the Volusia Speedway. As that is a beautiful look of these pro late models out here on track. A lot of cars and a lot of action as we see them heading down the backstretch here. Be sure in the YouTube chat lands, let us know your favorite driver, who you're rooting for tonight, as we got a lot of good drivers out here to do battle. As this time by, folks, it's the wave lap. One more lap to go till we go green flag race in action for 50 laps for this field. Michael Carter will lead us to green. Trevor Mattingly in second. Tanner Hutchins in third. Ricky LeDuc in fourth. As we get ready to go green flag race in action here at the Volusia Speedway, we get ready as the iRacing pace truck heads down pit road and off of turn number 4. Michael Carter will lead us to green in the 15 machine. We go green flag racing for race number 1 here at Volusia. Michael Carter wasting no time at all, jumping to the high line in front of Trevor Mattingly. Those two right on top of each other as they head into turn number 3, as the rest of the field sorting themselves out here. Carter will lead lap number 1 as we look throughout this field, folks. One car way up there, that's Ricky LeDuc in the 96 machine. They go 3 wide down the backstretch. Eric Lake having to jump all the way very down low as LeDuc way up the track, off the one car into the wall. I think that's the 51 machine of Ron Hart as we get a yellow flag. I believe Eric Lake may have been the cause of that, as we had a couple cars out of shape there throughout that. So we'll take a look at the 05 machine of Eric Lake. We'll see what happened to him down the front stretch. But yeah, you can see a little bit of contact to the 12 machine of Blake Steele as off of turn number 4 they come in. Not sure what Eric Lake happened. Something may have broke in that 05 machine as he hit that inside wall with no help. So that is a very strange one to see from that driver. are under yellow flag for the first time here at the Volusia Speedway. As you can tell, folks, caution laps do not count here tonight. As we'll get ready for our Delaware restart for this series. So what that means, the leader will get the front row to himself. Then second place will have choice of inside or outside. Third place then fills in where second does not choose, whereas the rest of the field slots in where iRacing tells them to. So looks like the 15 machine of Michael Carter will elect to start on the outside lane. And it looks like the 13 machine of Trevor Mattingly will be out front by himself and lead us to green. So it goes Mattingly, Carter, Hutchins, Lassiter, and Bobby Mattingly rounds out the top 5 here for this restart. As Trevor Mattingly out there in front, the iRacing pace truck down pit road it goes. Now we wait for the 13 machine. He jumps on the loud pedal. We go back to green flag racing action here at Volusia. As the field makes their way through 1 and 2 here, everyone looking pretty good. The battle for second is on as Hutchins tries to make a move on Carter. Carter to the outside. Hutchins down low as they try and sort themselves out. Lassiter right there as well. A little bit of a checkup. He had a checkup for the back bumper of Hutchins. Now that opens up the door for Bobby Mattingly as well as Brandon Marlowe right there, as well as the top 3 have single filed out here at Volusia. As Lassiter a little bit into the wall down the front stretch, so you got to wonder about that spoiler damage you see to the 51 machine. As Mattingly continues, Bobby Mattingly continues to try and work that inside line. Brandon Marlowe right there as well behind Lassiter, ready to take advantage of any sort of mistake by those cars in front. A little bit further back, we got some 3 wide racing action. Dave Payne up top, Dane Lloyd in the middle, Tanner Tallarico down low. Is Lloyd able to shoot the gap and clear himself over those 2 cars as Dave Payne and Tanner Tallarico duke it on out for right around the top 10 on the speedway. A little bit further up, Lassiter able to get clear of Bobby Mattingly. Now Brandon Marlowe trying to make some moves, trying to put his car where no one else is at, but now that opens up the door for Blake Steele on that top side. Ricky LeDuc, contact to the 12. He gets some help from the 91. They all stay straight though, as once again some 3 wide races in action with Dave Payne, Dane Lloyd, and also the 789 of Garrett Marshall all out there duking it out as well. Some more 3 wide racing action for these drivers as everyone in front has single filed on out for the most part. As contact, Dave Payne goes on around. Same with the 09 machine of Dan Lloyd. This will bring out the second caution here from the Volusia Speedway. As we'll take a look at the turn 3 replay here down the backstretch. And I think there was some contact between the 9 and the 38. Not sure what happened as Dave Payne a little in the wall. Maybe the 9 not realizing that he was going to check up like that. Tanner Tallarico have nowhere to go, and that turns the right rear around of the 9. And that will send him on around. As we'll take a look one more time at the replay, maybe from the one of Tanner Tallarico riding on board with the 1 machine. As we'll see if the 38 gets in the wall down that backstretch. It looks like it a little bit as you see that right rear kind of hop on up. That slows him on and down. He tries to avoid, and then nowhere for the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico to go, as we are under our second yellow flag of the night. as up front we get ready to do the Delaware restart. Out front will be the 13 machine once again of Trevor Mattingly. Michael Carter once again elects to restart on the top lane, and Tanner Hutchins will start on the inside. We'll ride on board with the back bumper of the 13 machine for this restart. Take a look at the field here as we go green flag. We're riding on board with Trevor Mattingly. Jumps on the loud pedal here. We go back green flag racing here at Volusia. Mattingly able to hang that thing on out. Gets the start from the top side, the front row all by himself, but everyone further on back. 2 by 2 they go as everyone continues to try and work in this ever-evolving dirt surface here from the Volusia Speedway. As the top 5 now has single filed on out. The first car down low, it looks like the 12 machine of Blake Steele trying to find some grip. Right below that slick stuff, you see him enter in, especially 1 and 2 folks. There's not too much grip down there, but at least here in 3 and 4, you know, it cleans on up a little bit, but very difficult to get traction for these cars down low, as you see everyone now trying to get to that top side, as everyone in this top 10 except for that 12 car up into that top lane already. We look back a little bit further for these battles. Once again, Dave Payne trying to work that inside. Now Andrew Payne in that 93 machine trying to work that top side here as Dave Payne slides on up in front of the 93. Andrew now looks to the inside, maybe a crossover, doesn't quite have enough of a run. This is the battle for the 13th position on the speedway. A little bit further up, Blake Steele continues to slide on back, trying to make that bottom side work. Now all the way down to the 9th position, maybe about to lose 10 to Garrett Marshall in that 789 machine on that top side there. The final car in this line of cars. As this time by, folks, for these drivers, we are 20 laps in and 50 laps to go left in this feature event for race number 1 of the American Sim Racing Pro Late Model Series. Race number 1 is presented by the RC Pro Shop. Be sure to check them out for all your hobby needs for the RC cars with the rcproshop.com. As 3 wide racing action here right outside the top 5 is contact down the front stretch. Marlowe, Kirby, and LeDuc all beating doors, continues the contact as Marlowe gets sent way up the racetrack. So I bet there's not some happy drivers in that as LeDuc slides, jobs the 91 machine, then Kirby will try the crossover. Blake Steele also right here as well as Kirby able to cross over the 96. Now LeDuc trying to make that high side work, and Marlowe continues to battle as Steele slides right up in front of Marlowe. I don't know how they didn't make contact there, as Steele very sideways there in front of Brandon Marlowe. Brandon Marlowe doing a great job keeping it off that 12 machine as we see Marlowe jump to that bottom side. But up front battle here for the 3rd position. Bobby Mattingly, slide job city over Tanner Hutchins for the 3rd position. So Bobby Mattingly up into the top 3. Tanner Hutchins will try and do the same, but not quite enough as they go door to door into turn number 1. Hutchins will continue to try and work that bottom side as Mattingly a little bit slower now all of a sudden up top. Maybe this bottom side coming on in as we see the 04 machine slide up in front of the 3 machine. Now the 3 will do the slide job himself. From the bottom to the top goes Bobby Mattingly. Now Tanner Hutchins will do the same here in 3 and 4. And with these 2 slide jobbing each other, this is opening up the door for Lassiter right there in 5th, waiting to get his hands on this battle as well. But out front, Trevor Mattingly with a dominant lead with Michael Carter over the rest of the field. Michael Carter is right there in case the leader of Mattingly makes a mistake, but Trevor Mattingly being very strong here for race number 1 at Volusia as we continue to look at this battle for the 3rd position. As Bobby Mattingly now will hold the point. We'll see if Hutchins can, not quite enough of a run to do a slide job, but they'll go door to door down the backstretch. As we get a yellow flag on the speedway, this will slow everyone down, bunch them on up, and we'll take a look at what brought out the yellow flag. I think it may have involved the 37 machine of Brandon Marlowe as we look down the front stretch at the 38 machine, or sorry, 37 machine, excuse me, as Marlowe gets a little bit of help from the 96 of LeDuc that sends the 37 on around, and everyone able to get on around. A little bit of contact to the 38 of Dave Payne, but everyone else besides that able to get on around. So we'll take a look one more time at the replay here and see how much contact the 37 got from the 96, as especially with these noses on these pro late models, folks, any sort of bumper contact, these things act like shovels, lift that rear end up just like that and sends the car with contact on around all day long. So we are under our 3rd yellow of the night here at the Volusia Speedway, as we'll get ready for another Delaware double restart. Mattingly, the man of the hour for this first half of the race, he will start out front. Michael Carter will elect that outside. Now Bobby Mattingly up into 3rd. He will start down low, and then the rest of the field will shuffle on in. Hutchins in 4th, Lassiter in 5th, as we get ready to go back. Green flag race in action here as the field bunches up again. We are looking very solid as we wait for the 13T of Trevor Mattingly to jump on the loud pedal and bring us back to green flag race in action here. He jumps on it early, and we go back. Green flag here. Mattingly leads over Bobby Mattingly, who's able to slide in front of Michael Carter. So it's the Mattingleys out there 1-2 right now. If we get a chance to talk with them, folks, I got to ask them, are they a brother or father-son combination? As Trevor Mattingly leads over Bobby Mattingly. Now Jacob Lassiter will make a move on Michael Carter down the backstretch. Lassiter down low, Carter up top. As contact a little bit further on back, Blake Steele goes on around with Tanner Hutchins. So this will bring out our 4th yellow of the night as contact inside the top 5 between the 12 and the 04 machine. As we look at the contact here down the backstretch, and then the contact will come in 3 and 4 as a little bit further back. Dave Payne up and off the ground for those rear tires, but yeah, it looks like Tanner Hutchins not realizing Blake Steele staying down low and being that slow, and then he gets turned by the 91 machine. But I don't think that was the reason for the caution, actually, folks. I think there was some other contact for down the backstretch. So we're going to go try and take a look here as down the backstretch. Oh, man, contact between Dave Payne, Tim Rogers, Andrew Payne as the 48 machine spins down the backstretch right at the same time as the other caution. So 2 different incidents right on the same time on the speedway. As the lights go out on the iRacing pace truck, we are going green next time by here at the Volusia Speedway. And with this start, folks. We're going to do the turn 3, turn it up. We're going to go get some live action shots of these cars on the speedway with some static cam. So we're going to go do the turn 3, turn it up for this start and get ready to crank them on up. As we wait for Trevor Manley, he jumps on the loud pedal. We go green flag racing action. As we get a yellow flag, so we might have to revisit the turn 3, turn it up here, but we'll take a look out here to see what brought out our yellow flag here, and it looks like might have involved the 59 machine of Nathan Henry on this restart. As we see the field coming to the green flag here, we'll keep an eye on the 59 machine as we see everyone dive it into turn number 1. And oh man, the 009 machine of Dane Lloyd a little aggressive on the brakes. Nathan Henry not able to check up quick enough with these brake pedals, and that sends him on around. So we'll ride on board with the 09 machine as we see him heading into turn number 1. Really get on the binders, really get it out of shape. Nathan Henry not able to get it woed on up. He goes on around, and Andrew Payne a little bit of contact, to the 59, and that will bring out our 5th yellow here tonight. As once again, we'll see the 1 to green. The lights will go out on the speedway. We'll get them re-racked, restacked, and ready to go back to green flag racing action. I'm going to go wait a few seconds before the turn 3, turn it up, just to make sure everyone gets themselves all situated. But Trevor Mattingly leads us to green. Bobby Mattingly 2nd. Michael Carter 3rd. Tanner Hutchins in 4th. Jacob Laster rounds out the top 5 for this restart. As we wait for the 13 machine to lead us to green, the iRacing pace truck down pit road, and the 13 jumps on the loud pedal here. We go back to green flag racing action here as it looks like the field side by side, 3 wide now as old man Bobby Mattingly up the speedway. He goes and drops back a ton of spots. Not sure if he had some help from the 13 or 15 of Michael Carter. But now that opens up the door to Tanner Hutchins, who was involved in that yellow, I thought initially for 2 yellows ago, but now it was for the backstretch as Hutchins able to slide on up in front of Carter. It looks like everyone's able to sort themselves out now. So now we'll go to the turn 3, turn it up, and let the cars do the talking. Alrighty, folks, we come back here with our normal broadcast here. We got this time by at the start finish line. We'll see 10 laps to go for Trevor Mattingly out there in front. Jacob Lassiter has made his way up to the 2nd position, up 3 positions from where he started. So Lassiter looking very strong from last season where he did win the championship for these dirt pro late models. Running in the 3rd position is Michael Carter in the 15 machine. 4th place is Aaron Kirby right now, the biggest mover of the race, up 8 positions from where he started. He finds himself in the top 5, and then rounding out the top 5 right now is the 12 of Blake Steele. We saw that contact a little bit earlier, but we get a yellow flag here for the 6th time here tonight. I believe it involves Michael Guerin, as we got cars all over the track in turn 3 as we try and get them all sorted on out. But yeah, there's a few of them stopped in turn 3. We'll check out the turn 3 turn replay here as Michael Guerin way up the speedway, down the backstretch, way out of the groove, as almost contact, heavy contact into the opening, down the backstretch, and then the 163 machine of Bailey Boyd, nowhere to go. Tanner Tallarico gets a piece. Andrew Payne gets a piece. As, oh man, folks, that was some heavy, heavy contact. We'll take a look one more time at the replay here, and we'll try and see how heavy of contact we got to that outside wall for the 76 as he was way out of the speedway. You see that, heavy contact. That thing's probably done for the night. Up and off the speedway it goes, up and over, gets a piece of Tanner Tallarico, who almost goes over. Andrew Payne involved as well, and that is some heavy, heavy contact for all of those cars. We'll take a look one more time as we ride on board with the one of Tanner Tallarico to see just what happened. As we'll take a look, keep it right to the top right of your screen. You'll see the 78 big time into the wall there, and then Bailey Boyd nowhere to go, up and over. So Tanner tries to make evasive maneuvers, and that 163 makes some heavy contact to that right side, sends that one car around and into the wall he goes. So that is what brings out our 6th yellow, as we see a lot of damaged race cars out there. But up front, we get ready to go back to green flag race in action as Trevor Mattingly leads the way over Jacob Lassiter. Michael Carter 3rd, Aaron Kirby 4th, Blake Steele 5th as we go back. Green flag race in action here at Volusia. Out there in the YouTube chat lands, we got Eric out there. Yeah, some good racing out here tonight for race number 1 of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Model Series here on the dirt, here at the Volusia Speedway. As Trevor Mattingly leads the way over Jacob Lassiter. Michael Carter now trying to make something happen in the 15 machine. As further on, as these guys have checked on out from kind of the second pack here, trying to sort themselves out. As we see Brandon Marlowe trying to get back up as high as he can in the standings, currently in the 8th position, and making that inside line work. As we see, either you're running very down at the bottom of the speedway, or you're running all the way on the top above that slick stuff. We don't see too many cars in the in-between. For that time by, we see 5 laps to go. Aaron Kirby now trying to make the move on Tanner Hutchins. This is for 4th place on the speedway. Hutchins trying to make that high side work. Kirby trying to make that middle work right now. You don't see too many cars trying to make that, but that 91 trying to make that, as well as Bobby Mattingly also up here as well. We saw him get big time out of shape on a restart, lose, I want to say, at least 10 spots. Now battling back into the top 5. As a little bit further back, we see 3 wide race in action here. As for our leaders, Trevor Mattingly sees popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go for the driver of the 13T as he heads through 3 and 4 here. This time by, folks, we see the white flag. 1 more lap to go for race number 1 here at Volusia. Mattingly leads the way over Michael Carter, who got around Jacob Lassiter for the 2nd position, but down the backstretch for the final time. Into 3 he comes, and off of turn number 4, Trevor Mattingly is going to win race number 1 here for this season of the American Sim Racing Club Pro Late Models. Michael Carter will finish in the 2nd position. Jacob Lassiter will finish in 3rd. And we'll talk to all 3 of those drivers here in a few minutes. But the man of the hour, the man of the feature event, Trevor Mattingly, gets the job done. He picks up the win here as that will do it for the racing here at Volusia. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we got some interviews to be had with these drivers as we look at the 13T here parking on the front stretch. And we'll go to commercial break. We'll be right back on the other side with these interviews with these drivers. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, folks, we come back here at the Volusia Speedway, getting everything sorted out on my end. We'll first be talking to the 51 machine of Jacob Lassiter. Jacob, do you got a copy?
Channel.
It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got you, Brett. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Jacob. How was that 51 machine here tonight? We saw you start kind of a little bit towards mid-pack with that heat race, but overall you find yourself back in the top three. A very similar sight to what we saw the last time when American Sim Racing Club went dirt racing. How have you been doing? And yeah, how's the car here tonight?
We've been doing pretty good, man. Just running when we can. I mean, we've been working so much in my regular job. I just haven't been able to get on there as much as I'd like to. But when I heard this series was getting started back up, you know, I really enjoyed it last time around, and I thought David and all the ones that ran the league probably one of the ran one of the best leagues that I've ran, and no exception tonight. They did a heck of a job, and yeah, I mean the car was pretty good. I had a I had a pretty good run there. About I don't know about 15 laps to go, and I could kind of start seeing Trevor and catching him a little bit. But after the caution, I just didn't have the same speed, and I stuck down on the bottom. And Michael he figured out something in 3 and 4. I just couldn't get 3 and 4 figured out as good as he could, and he went around us there. But all in all, it was a good race.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jacob, there were some great battles all throughout the Speedway here tonight, from you guys to anywhere throughout the field, Jacob. It seemed like everyone had a ton of control here tonight with these cars, and it seemed like the track was very racy. Would you say that's the case here at Volusia?
Yeah, I mean, Volusia is probably one of the best tracks on the game, honestly. I mean, occasionally you'll get one groove, but for the most part, man, it just seems like it transitions really well throughout the night. And anytime you have a track that you can race on, I think everybody will tell you it's one of their favorites because you don't get too many of those. Most of the time it's topside or, you know, it's freight train racing. But here it's just one of those tracks. I don't know, something about it just it runs good and races good. And anytime that you can race against people and not touch and pass, that's all that matters.
Yeah, Jacob, I tell you what, there was some great racing, like you said, throughout it with very little contact. Well, Jacob, just for the viewers watching at home, you did win the championship last season. So what's kind of the expectations coming into this season with a whole new, with some new faces and new places and some pretty good competition once again?
I'll be honest with you, man. We'd love to win another championship, but you know it's tough competition, and you know anytime that you come out, you have to have your A game, and some nights you just don't have it. And we were just a little bit off tonight. Trevor was by far him and Michael were the two best cars, and you know I mean I think there'll be two tough ones to go, and then there'll be two tough ones pretty much every night we race, and then Brandon and some of these other guys that are in here also. They're tough anytime, any track. So like I said, it's going to be tough. It's going to just take a lot of consistency. It'll be tough to win every single race. So this is a very split group, I think, very competitive. So I think it'll be tough to win every race. So I think it'll come down to just being consistent.
Yeah, Jacob, and you starting the season off on the right foot, talking with me up in the booth for the top three. That's going to be the name of the game. If you can do that throughout the whole season, I think you have a great shot. But before I let you go, Jacob, and celebrate this podium finish, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 51 team tonight.
Just got to thank the team, Hot Lap Heroes. Just joined them a couple months ago, and it's an awesome group of guys. Most of them was in the race tonight. Some of them didn't have the runs that they wanted, but Trevor, he's part of the team too, and he got the win. So anytime you get a teammate to get the win, so hats off to him. And then I just got to thank 789 Designs with the brand new wrap on the car. I got to thank Max Green as always, the Sud Shop, and like I said, all the teammates. Couldn't do it without their support. I got to thank the wife, man, taking care of the little one, allowing me to do this. Without her support, this sure wouldn't be possible. And then I got to thank you guys for the broadcast. I got to thank Dave and all the ones that put the league on, man, and give us a place to run. Zach has come on board and picked up the series for us, and he's done a heck of a job tonight. So can't thank them enough for giving us a place to run.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jacob, being out here, putting on a show for the fans. You have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be chatting with you before this season's all over. So, Jacob, have yourself a great rest of the night.
You too, buddy.
User was moved out of your
Alrighty,
channel.
folks, that was our third place finisher, Jacob Lassiter. Now we'll head over to our second place finisher, that being the 15 machine of Michael Carter.
User was
Michael,
moved to
you got
your
a copy?
channel.
It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir, I do. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself, Mike? You found yourself, I want to say, battling all night long for in the top five. You looked pretty sporty out there. Tell me about how was that 15 machine?
Oh yeah, car was real good. Track slicked over there, and just had to work around trying to find the top and middle. And Trevor got around me there early on the start, and that's what he had to do to control the race. And so we just fell back there a few times on the restarts, and had to work my way back up there to second, battling with Jacob. But car was great. Race was smooth. Wasn't no major issues. I got to apologize to Bobby there on that restart. I got into him a little bit. I think it was a little bit of net code, not sure. But besides that, man, it was a great night.
Yeah, Michael, you coming out here with this runner-up finish, that's always got to be a great way to start the season. I know every driver wants to finish that one spot better, but to come out here at second place, especially with the caliber of racers tonight, that says a lot for this 15 team here.
Oh yeah, very happy. Anytime I'm on the podium, we can run up front. Have a good points night. That's what it's about. It's a long season, quite a few races, so consistency is the key to try to win a championship, and that's what we're going for.
Yeah, Mike, and for all the viewers at home, I'm looking at your little driver information about you. It looks like you run some real-life late models out there.
No, we don't. We run the street stocks, which are called semi-lates now. But yeah, I've been racing for since 2004. Been racing many years, and it's a great hobby. It's a family thing we do, and it's very enjoyable. It's expensive, but it's enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I know that, Mike. It's an addiction that runs deep. I like to tell people, and it's a thrill like no other. So awesome stuff from you here tonight, Mike. I'm sure we'll be talking to you some more here in the future and as the season goes on. But before we let you go, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you, and I'll let you thank who you got to thank for this 15 crew, and maybe your thoughts looking forward to the season.
Absolutely. As always, I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting. Gotta thank ASRC, all the guys there, sponsors here that sponsor tonight. I'm not too familiar. I have to go back and look at that, and I apologize. But I gotta thank Randy Carter Painting, my father, CTM Motorsports, Kale Smith, Travis Anderson, Redline Race Designs, everybody watching. Greatly appreciate it, and everybody's a part of this. Thank you so much, and we'll see y'all soon.
Alrighty, Mike. Well, you have yourself a great rest of the night. I'm sure we'll be talking to you, like I said, before the season's on done. So congrats once again on the runner-up finish, and you have yourself a great rest of the night.
You too, sir. Thank you.
User was moved out of your
Alrighty,
channel.
folks. And now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour, that being the 13 machine of Trevor Mattingly.
User was
Trevor,
moved to
do you
your
got a
channel.
copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir, I do.
Alrighty, man. I tell you what, that thing was on rails all night. Trevor, tell me a little bit about this 13T machine.
Yeah, man, the track changed quite a bit there. It was run the high line, or in qualifying, it was kind of greasy and didn't get as good of a lap as I wanted to in. Kudos to Michael for setting that heater, but the track changed a whole lot during the race, man.
Yeah, that did seem to. It seemed like everyone kind of course, started off down low, went to the top side, and then right around 20 laps to go, it seemed like people were really searching around the racetrack trying to find some traction. You saw some guys even going to the middle of the track, which you don't see too often.
Yeah, it was right there with about 15, maybe like you said, 20 laps to go. I was just going into 1 and 2 and driving it straight through the slick and catching that tacky on exit, and then driving right through the middle in 3 and 4, and it was seeming to work. So I just kept doing it over and over, and looked up and the race was 2 to go. So I was like, it must be working. So I just kept doing it.
Yeah, Trevor, and I gotta say, we were keeping tabs on you with the preseason racing and whatnot, and we knew you were probably one of the fan favorites coming into tonight. And like the people that bet with you, you put your money where your mouth was, and you park it in Victory Lane. I tell you what, that thing had a lot of speed. You got any tricks or tips of how to do it? Just keep on adjusting your line to how the track's working?
Oh, the line you run is 90% of it, man, and it's just being able to run it consistent and being able to switch your line up as the track goes on. I didn't have anyone to follow there, so I would see Michael in my mirror kind of catch me or something, and I would change my lineup and figure out what worked. And you just got to be able to. Most tracks are high side dominant, and this is one of the racier tracks in my opinion, because you can run low, you can run high, and if the guy up above you messes up, you're right there with him. And it stay consistent is my biggest tip, man.
Yeah, always a great tip, but very hard to do, especially on the dirt side of things. And the change of conditions, can provide some very treacherous stuff. So one thing to ask you, Trevor, while we got you here, maybe for the fans at home, maybe wondering what kind of wheel you racing on? What kind of sim setup you got for the 13 machine tonight?
I got the cheap stuff, man. I got the Logitech G29, and I've had it for about 2.5 years now, and she's still rocking steady with me. And if it breaks, I'm probably gonna buy a new one. I've gotten used to it, and I've raced on the Fanatec stuff, and I just can't get used to it. I'm done used to this Logitech, and it does everything I need it to, man.
Awesome stuff, Trevor. Well, before we let you go and celebrate down in Victory Lane for the rcproshops.com Volusia Raceway, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and thank who you got to thank for this 13 crew for making that car so fast here tonight and putting on a heck of a show.
I appreciate it. Team at Speed Shop. I've started my own little speed shop here the past 6 months or so, and been building setups. Couldn't ever find a good setup shop I liked, and tried to figure out how these things work, and kind of have here lately. We win some races every now and then, and also got to thank FMS Rapid Graphics. Aaron Kirby, he was racing this too. I think he finished 5th or 6th. He got 5th, and also got to thank my uncle Bobby. He finished 6th. Maybe would have had a 2nd there, but I think some net code come in play there with him and Michael. But I know Michael didn't mean to. He's a clean racer. And also my buddy Tanner, he finished force. So the crew got a top 6 here, and also want to thank Hot Lap Pros. There was several of them guys in here: Brandon Marlowe, Garrett Marshall, Dane Lloyd, all them guys. We all get in Discord and figure out what to do and how to make these things fast. And it takes a team. You can't do it yourself.
Yeah, Trevor, I tell you what, and both those teams, a lot of talent, especially on the dirt side of stuff. So those are two teams that you definitely want to be a part of if you want to get faster on the dirt side. Because, like you said, all of those names that you named off, I think almost all of them, finished in the top 10 here tonight. And yeah, thanks for clarifying that, Trevor. I was wondering what the Mattingly relationship between you and Bobby. So he's your uncle. So good to know. We'll jot that on down. But yeah, Trevor, heck of a job here tonight. That 13-team machine on rails here for race number 1. And looking forward, I'm sure we'll be talking to you some more here in the future. So, Trevor, I'm going to go let you go. Celebrate down in Victory Lane here tonight. And we'll catch you later. You have yourself a great rest of the night. And party it on up.
All right, I appreciate it. I also got to congratulate Jacob on the P3. We just picked him up on Hot Lap Heroes here recently, and he ran a hell of a race too.
Yep, good shout out there. Yeah, another top 3 guy there. So, like I said, those crews, definitely some fast guys in there. So, Trevor, you have yourself a great rest of the night, and we'll talk to you on the flip side.
See you, man. Appreciate it.
User was moved out of
Alrighty,
your
folks.
channel.
That does it down in Victory Lane for Trevor Mattingly. As we get ready to go over tonight's finishing results here for the RCProShop.com race number 1 at the Volusia Speedway. As we get the results on the screen, Trevor Mattingly gets the job done. He picks up the first win of the season in the 13 machine. Second place going to Michael Carter in the 15. Rounding out the top 3 was Jacob Lassiter in the 151. Fourth is Tanner Hutchins in the 04. Rounding out the top 5 is Aaron Kirby in the 91 machine. Tonight's second biggest mover. 6 goes to Bobby Mattingly, our race winner's uncle, in the 3. 7th goes to Blake Steele in the 12. 8th is Brandon Marlowe in the 37. 9th goes to Garrett Marshall in the 789. Rounding out the top 10 is the biggest mover of the race, Ron the Hitman Hart in the 51. 11th goes to Ricky LeDuc in the 196. 12th is Dan Lloyd in the 009. 13th is David Payton in the 38. 14th goes to Tim Rogers in the 48. Bailey Boyd in the 163, able to bounce back to a 15th position. 16th goes to Andrew Payne in the 93. 17th is Tanner Tallarico in the 1. 18th is the 59 of Nathan Henry. 19th going to the 78 of Michael Guerin. 20th is Chuck Darling in the 88. And rounding out the finishing order tonight is Eric Lake in the 05 machine. So, folks, this will do it for the RCProShop.com race number 1 here at Volusia. Be sure to tune in Sunday nights at 9 o'clock to catch our next race in action. Will Trevor Mattingly add to the streak? Can Jacob Lassiter defend another Pro Late Model Series championship? Be sure to tune in as we got a lot of races here to go. So I've been Brett the Jet in the booth for Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check out more of my broadcasts as well as the other broadcasters here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We are broadcasting at least 5 times a week with all sorts of great series. Be sure to tune on in. We got to give a big shout out to the people out there in the YouTube chat land, Eric and Shelby, as well as all the live viewers out there. We got to give a shout out to all you guys and all the replay viewers tuning on in, rewatching this. Of course, we got to give a shout out to all the racers out there on track, 21 strong, very competitive super late model drivers out here tonight, as well as the admins at American Sim Racing Club to make this happen. If you want to be a part of the racing action, be sure to check out AmericanSimRacingClub.com. We got to, of course, thank the sponsor of tonight. If you're looking to get into the RC stuff, maybe upgrade some RC parts, be sure to check out the rcproshop.com. And that will do it here for race number 1 at Volusia. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth. Everyone take care, stay safe, and we'll catch you next Sunday, folks. And just remember, I just flew by you.